I haven't been on here in a while. I just came back from a 45-day solo road trip again. And what I'm doing here in these road trips is, if you've heard Abraham Hicks talk about creating the vortex, this is what Bashar talks about when you just keep choosing your joy, your passion in every moment, and it creates a momentum. So that's what I'm doing on these road trips. I am not planning a single thing. I wake up in the morning and every moment I decide what I'm going to do, and I just keep following that joy. So now I'm creating a momentum. Soon I was walking into what I was being shown. This is where the Truman Show comes in. There's a stage being built, and I can see the energetic players behind the characters. I can see the actors. So I will start getting downloads, and I'll walk into the scene. So as the observer, I'm just taking in all the characters. And what I'm noticing is none of the characters are trying to course correct each other. They all have their perfect role. I was not there to put my judgment or my perspective on anything. I was just meant to take it. And everybody that was around me was a projection of me. And in this particular scene that I experienced for New Year's Eve, it was all this shadow aspect of myself. And I've sat with every single one of those versions of myself, and I've fallen back in love with every single one of them. So I had no judgment. I was just observing the entire time I was in this scene that I knew I was on a stage, like the Truman Show. So that being said, what I'm getting right now feels like 2 years ago, when I first started going through the awakening, when I first quit my corporate job, when I knew my 40th birthday was coming up and it was going to be the most unbelievable. It was 2 years ago, about this time 2 years ago, and I felt that pure bliss. I had just become weightless, limitless, just quitting that job and just freeing myself, liberating myself. Like with the wonderment and innocence of a child, I'm stepping into a new reality. This is all new. What's next? I know I'm creating all this, so what's next? I haven't felt that in 2 years. But after coming home from this road trip, experiencing everything that I did, taking that all back and integrating that, I'm suddenly feeling that feeling again. And for a second I questioned if it was a reset, because reset's a big word right now. Did I get sent back 2 years? Do I have to do this all over again? But I have this awareness now. And then it dawned on me, no. Well, this and that, not this or that, but here's the other perspective of that. 2 years ago, when I was in that pure state of bliss, I was being shown what it was going to feel like 2 years from then. This was the quest I was getting on. This is what it's going to feel like when you get there. Are you ready for this? Because it's not going to be easy. When you make this choice to go on this journey, this quest to know thyself, it is not easy. But it is your path home. That sense, that feeling of home that you've been longing for, there's something there, there's something familiar, and you've just been searching for that. 2 years ago, I was shown what it was going to feel like in this scene now. What I'm going to feel like, the liberation I'm going to feel, the people, what it feels like with the people around me. And last night, when I sat in that feeling and came to that awareness, all of a sudden, it dawned on me. I am here now where I showed myself 2 years ago I would be if I stuck the course, if I didn't give up on myself. 4:20 to confirm the time on the clock. So I sat down and I wrote myself a letter to that version of myself 2 years ago, because past, present, future are all simultaneously happening right now. So all you gotta do is envision yourself at that version of yourself and talk to her, talk to him, because you are communicating. So I sat down and I wrote myself 2 years ago, when I was in that state of bliss, before I knew it was gonna start going away, and I thought it would just be a forever distant memory. And no, I'm telling myself, you're about to go on this quest that is not going to be easy, because you are going to be challenged to let go of every sense of what you believe reality is. And you're not going to be able to logically understand it, but you're going to know deep down to let it, all definition, all limitations go. So you can come home to yourself and know your true self. I got so high just off of doing that writing, that channeling, and communicating to her and telling her how brave she is and how proud I am of her. So this is my message to you. You start feeling this familiarity. Start talking to that version of yourself and telling that version of yourself, don't give up. There's going to be moments that you want to go and give up and unalive yourself and stuff. Just keep pushing through. It's you guiding you. What would you say to yourself 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, when this whole journey started for you and you didn't realize how dark, lonely it was going to get?